Hi, Dyslexic Genius here. What I'm going to talk about is how do you take apart a Triumph top end like this with a 2 4-minute changer. And we have the top and the bottom plate of this. So first thing you want to look at is that the reason it came in, it's missing a few things. We have some green cloth here, but we're supposed to have rubber here, here underneath this top casting, one here and here. And also, we have what is left of some rubber, and you have to have rubber here, here, and over here, just like the front side. But how do we get this apart? The easy way. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the half nut and spring. And now we're going to turn it over and look at the threads. And the threads look very good on the half nut right here. You can see this, no wear pattern. That's the first thing you look at. Now we're going to rotate the mandrel shaft. We're going to look through here on the threads. And got a little bit of goober grease, but that's no problem. And that all looks good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the back rod out. That's this rod that runs through here. You're going to unscrew this one. And this end. These are the two screws that hold everything together. Now you're going to take this screw out. Now we're going to take the in gate off. Now what we're going to do is, this is the proverbial thing on Edison's. Is the back rod loose or not? We'll give it a tug, and it is loose, which means it'll just slide out. Sometimes they get really tight. You can see all the dirt. This will all have to be polished out on the lathe and cleaned. Now we'll back this off slowly. And now we'll pull the 2 4-minute changer out. You don't want to play with this screw, because this screw here sets this nipple to the changer, which rides into this shaft. So I'll be talking about that later. Now, there's a screw in here. And we're going to take that screw out. And we're going to give it a little tap. And the
what
pin,
are you doing?
Inside here is a little pin.
Okay.
The pin goes in. I wanted to see if it came out. It doesn't want to come out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to undo this screw that holds the collar in place. And we're going to take out the little L-shaped piece here. And this screw is special. That little screw is very special. Along this piece too. Now when you're looking at it, you'll see it has a wear mark in here. It's rounded out and it shouldn't be. It's worn. If my angel can focus up. You see how that's worn out? This is supposed to be flat across the top, so we'll have to replace that. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take the left hand and the right hand. You're going to grab the pulley with the left hand, and you're going to pull back like that. There we go. This will slide out like that. Now this is what happens over hundreds of years with Edison. See, they didn't oil or grease this on the inside, so we have a little bit of rust coming, but that's no big thing. Now we will gently slide out the half nut lead screw here. We're going to be very careful with this. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this into a paper towel.
And why do you have to be careful with this?
We don't want to damage the threads on the lead screw here. We don't want to damage this. So we're just going to roll this up like a Cohiba cigar from Cuba. And that is now protected. Now we're going to undo this piece, this in for the bearing. We're going to pull that out of the transmission, and we're going to pull that out of the transmission. And take the screw out. And push this. Now, if these don't want to push out, then you'll use a small piece of brass and come in here and you can tap, tap, tap to get that apart. And this goes with that, and you don't want to damage that gear there either. We'll clean all this up later. Pull out that collar. Now we'll take the in gate apart. We'll take this screw out here. Now, you see the end of this bearing? It looks to me like it has a worn area in here. We're going to have to reshape this on the lathe to get this more into the 60-degree point taper. And now what we will do, you just take this screw and you screw it out, and the whole bearing comes with it. Luckily, this isn't all gummed up, getting them apart. Sometimes they're really tough to get apart. It's coming to the end of the thread, so we're going to use the piece with the hole in it. We're just going to give it a little tap. So what you do now is you'll screw this in, you'll screw this out to where it hits the edge of the slot this way. because we run out of thread and then it all kind of gets boogered up in there. See this little hole in the brass? Fits right on the end of the bearing. This one hates me. Now we'll use our 2x4 setup. And that's because it has a little bit of rust in here. You see this rust? This is why I flex hone all the time. And now you can see the bearing when I rotate it. I'll wipe it off with my thumb. You see there? It has a ding in it right there. So that means it's not running perfectly into here. It's running high or low. This taper and this taper need to mesh along with the other end piece. Now we'll take the last 2 screws out. And the customer's lucky because they have the right screw in, the right washer in there. And you see this flat part? You have to have that. Got the right screws and washers. Excellent. Now you just pop that off. Set this right here. And now you can see what they did. You see how this rubber is deteriorating after 100 or more years, probably 120 years on this Triumph. You know, you just have this hardened stuff. The top of the bed plate, it fit here and it floated on the rubber. But I think back in the 60s, somebody put a material in here. That stuff's just crumbling apart. You know, I love doing this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will show you how to reassemble it in the next video. All we have to do now is clean, polish, and do a little turning on some of the bearings so that they mate. I've done other videos on that. And we'll have it running up. And that's my tip for the day.